Yo, what is going on? I just thought I'd make a really quick video going over my Chronomancer Storm Mage build that I've kind of cooked up. Um, I don't know, so this is something that I've been playing for a couple of weeks now, and in my opinion, this is probably one of the most comfortable builds that I've played probably ever, especially when it comes to minion builds, with just like how tanky it is, how good the clear is, and how good the boss damage is. So I thought I'd just go over it really quickly just to show you guys. The main reason why it's just so comfortable is just the versatility of the build and just the tankiness. And most of that's mainly got to do with how Chronomancer actually functions. So with Chronomancer, you've got three main skills that are actually the main ones that make this build work. So if we check here, like the first one that we got is really important is Apex of Movement. And basically the best way of looking at this is it's just temp chains. So if you've ever played Path of Exile 1 and ran Blasphemy Curses, that's what this is. So no matter what, when you're running into enemies or whether you're killing enemies, whatever, they just have temp chains affected on them, and you can just apply another curse. So you just get basically a curse for free, which is really, really good. The second, probably most important one of the entire build is Footprints in the Sand. So this, if you've ever played League of Legends or anything like that, this is essentially just an Echo Ultimate. You just go back in time and reset everything. So let's just say, for example, we're getting into a really dangerous situation here. All these guys are doing, let's just say, heaps of damage to me. I just ult backwards. And I just get all my HP back for free. And this is up every, 5 seconds. I think it's 5.1 seconds. So if you see, you follow this little trail behind you, and you're basically just good to go. So no matter what, you would just beyond safe. And as you can see, the minions do most of the clearing. I don't need to use a whole bunch of skills. They just run in and do a bunch of damage. If I get in danger, go backwards. And this is probably the most important when it comes to bosses in general, but you can also use it for defense. The third reason is ultimate command, basically just time freeze. So what this does, say if this is a boss, we'll actually show you at the end of the video just to show you the boss fight. But all you do, say if you want to set up all your skills, you just press one button, and it freezes everything in this area. So there's two ways you can use it. You can use it for defense, so if you ever get in trouble and you teleport out and you're still getting attacked, you can just time freeze them and you should be good to go, no matter what. Just those three things in itself, with the Storm Mages having such good clear and having such good damage, just base damage with the crit and scaling, it's just so comfortable. You can just go into maps. So when I play the game, I usually go in, I watch a movie on the side, TV shows, talk to mates, whatever. I don't really pay attention. And this build is just absolutely amazing for that. I run through here, you see the clear. The clear's just amazing too. For minion builds anyway. This is a full, decked out map. So if I show you over here, it's got really nasty mods in it. And there's just clearing it without any issue. Very good for breaches, if you're doing ritual farming, hunting down those, items. Really good for rituals. Bosses, it's got really good damage as well. But yeah, it's in my opinion, it's just by far one of the most comfortable builds I've played. So with the passive tree, so the two differences between saying a sorceress and an infernalist is the passive tree. So with this, we're losing, compared to the infernalist, we're losing about 89% minion damage in these nodes here. So on the infernalist, if you go here, these are usually minion damage. So all the way up here would be minion damage, minion spells, cast speed, and you'd also have a revive node here. So we do miss out on that, but what we gain in return is just a shit ton of defenses. So all the way up here, we just get all the energy shield nodes, more energy shield, more energy shield. Pick up some strength through here because that is kind of important for the shield. Grab the minion life nodes, go down through here. It is obviously scaling crit. That's what makes these Storm Mages work so well. So you want to pick up all the crit nodes through here. Further later into the build, if you do keep going with it, there is a jewel that you can get that basically makes all the passive notables in this area. Will give you, I think it's 10 extra spirit on each notable. So if you do grab that, you might want to grab this node as well. But for now, I just leave it out. Go down here, get the ES. More maximum energy shield for your minions, area of effect. Back up through here, grab the crit. The int node, this is one that you don't need, so if you can manage to get int on your gear and not need it, that'd be really good, just give you extra point, but I've decided to take it. Go through here. Minion Obviously, these are important too. Like, keeping your minions alive is probably the hardest thing with this build. So you want to stack as much resistances as you possibly can. But it's basically the exact same as any other build. Just follow the tree, pick up the reservation, go down here, grab all these nodes here. The reason we're grabbing all of these, as well as all these, obviously because we're scaling block with this shield. But another reason is this timeless lost jewel here. So what this jewel does is it gives us attack and cast speed, 2% attack and cast speed on each notable that we have in this area, as long as critical damage. So with taking all these nodes, we're able to get 54% crit. You can definitely get more with a better jewel, it's just expensive. And we're getting 14% cast speed, which just, yeah, it just makes the build feel really good. And down here too, because we are taking a normal shield rather than the unique one that gives you spirit, you're able to get 55% block chance with a bunch of ES as well. So we take this one here, grab Ancient Aegis. Yeah. Now, the other important thing is the basic jewels. So these are kind of expensive. I think they're like 1 to 2 div each if you're just going for crit damage and crit chance. But if you want the ES as well, they could be up to 4 to 5 div. But these are what make the build really good. These are what scales the damage insanely well. So every single unique jewel, every single normal jewel we have here, it's this crit damage, crit chance with energy shield on every single one of them. And what this allows us to do is basically, when we click on our minions here, it will give us up to 30%, I think it's like 28% crit chance, and it will give us 336% crit bonus, which is more than enough to take down most things in the game. If we look over at our gear here, the gear is basically the exact same as most other minion builds. You got your wand, you can definitely get a better scepter than this. This is just one that I kind of got. In my opinion, for what I found to be most comfortable for me, cast speed is really important because it just, like clearing, it just makes it feel really good. So you just grab one with cast speed, crit chance, and then if you can get a +5 minion, that's obviously way better, but I just decided not to because I'm lazy. But everything else is just ES bases. So here it's just ES with a little bit of resistances. Same as your boots. You can definitely get better boots. You can definitely get a better helmet than the one that I've got. Get the +2 helmet with some resistances. The one thing I have found with this build is it is like really heavy on attributes. It kind of sucks trying to get them all. So if you can, grab like a amulet with strength, just so you can get the shield, just because of the strength requirement. But if you don't need to as well, like say if you got other gear with strength on it, that's really good. You can just get any amulet you want, just make sure you get the +3 with the spirit. Go down here, you just get your Venter's Gambles. You can definitely get better Venter Gambles than the one that I've got. Just make sure it has high spirit and high rarity, obviously. Chest piece, same thing. You just get high airspace with high spirit. One thing that I've decided to go for, which is why my gear's a little bit worse in some cases, is the rarity. This is completely up to you. You can go, like, you can have way better gear with, like, way better ES and stuff without rarity, but I don't know, I just decided to get the rarity. Also, with this Ingenuity belt, you don't need this. So if we look at our minions here, right now we're rocking 10. If I don't have this, we have, like, 9. It's not the end of the world. So if you just have a basic belt on that has, like, say, strength with a little bit of resistances and other stuff, that would be completely fine. You do not need this belt. It's nice, it's really nice to have, but you don't need it. And that's kind of all the gear. The last thing we have is just a shield. This probably is what makes the build feel so comfortable, like when you're running maps and stuff, just because of the block chance and the ES that it gives. Like, this is up to you. So if you decide not to go block chance and you want to go to the unique shield, just go up through here and you might be able to grab some of the stuff. So maybe get a little bit of block chance. No, you'd probably still go the same, because that shield does provide block chance too. I'd probably keep it the same. Run the unique shield. It's going to give you less block, but it'll still be, I think it will give you like 45%, which is still completely fine. So now we go on to the gems. With your Skeleton Warriors, these guys don't matter at all. Like, they just don't fucking matter. They're literally just there so we can use our offering, but I've just chucked on Maim Support, Blind, Culling Strike with Meat Shield, like, just to keep it there. Another thing that I have done, so we took Sigil of Power, so that is just with the weapon swap. This honestly doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want. I got one with cast speed to make it a little bit nicer. You can get one with plus all gems as well, or plus skill gems. That would be okay, but just to get like a sigil power a little bit higher, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. So what this does, if I get out of my thing really quick. So basically, you run in, throw down your sigil powered, do that, and this increases our damage by a lot. So usually we're sitting at 1.4, and this will take us up to 1.6. So if I get out of this really quick and show you. 1.4. And then we chuck our sigil power down, weapon swap back. Oh, whoops. There we go. Yeah. So that's really nice to have. You don't need to put anything into it. I put in a magnified effect just to make the area of effect a little bit bigger. Temporal Rift doesn't need anything because it's got such a low cooldown anyway. It's 5 seconds. Like, it's really good. Same with Time Freeze. Like, actually, no, sorry. Time Freeze, you do want Second Wind. So what this will do, so I'll show you when we get up to the boss fight, but when we do get up to the boss fight, when he loads in and starts attacking, you Time Freeze him once, and then throw all your curses out. So you curse, your offering, your Eye of Winter, and then when he starts attacking again, you can Time Freeze him again. So that's really good. The Storm Mages, it's kind of a basic setup. Obviously, you want level 21. I've tried 5 times to get level 21, but God doesn't love me. So it's really simple. You just get Arcane Tempo, Feeding Frenzy, Lightning Mastery, Minion Mastery, and Elemental Focus. I have tried other things besides Elemental Focus, but none of them like come anywhere close to the amount of damage. If you guys can think of something that might be a little bit better, let me know in the comments, but this is what I'm rocking with at the moment. We just have an extra skeletal Storm Mage as well. This is literally just a shock bot. Doesn't need to be anything special. Like, he's only level 19, it honestly doesn't matter. Just have lightning exposure, strip away with conduction. You want to have one skeletal cleric, like, just to keep your boys alive, just to keep them rocking in maps. They don't need anything, just I took a last gasp on there. Eye of Winter, so one thing that you do want with the Eye of Winter is Unleash. Like, I've tried everything else with, like, Eye of Winter, I've tried Scattershot, I've tried other things, Bellico. You want Unleash. So what it will do is basically, this will give you 10% straight away, stacked up straight away, which is perfect. So you don't need to throw it on the boss 20 times. It would just give the 10%. This is really good for mapping too, because if you have a rare, you just chuck it on there and it's going to go like 10% straight away. If you don't know what Eye of Winter does, I probably should run it down really quick. It basically just applies critical weakness on them, like, which is good. But yeah, Unleash, Acceleration, Wild Shards, and Inspiration. You can play around with this, just change around different stuff. These don't really matter, you just use whatever's comfortable for you. The only one that does matter is Unleash. Pain Offering, this is just to boost our minions' damage. So with the Pain Offering, we got Fond of Rage, just so the minions get raged and it builds up, gives them more damage over time. Expands to make the area a bit bigger. The 6-second cooldown doesn't matter, so I'll show you guys here. Like, you can throw it down, and by the time this goes away and that comes back up, like, it's 2 seconds later and you'll be able to throw it down again. So the 6 seconds doesn't matter. And then we have, I can't even say this word, but this basically just gives you more damage, and this one as well. So it gives 6% increased damage. Conductivity, this is just a curse. You throw on it, minus 36% or res. You just chuck that on with Hex Bloom. Heightened Curse and Ritualistic Curse. Hex Bloom you want to do for when you're doing things like breaches to make it spread out through the monsters. It's really good. This is one thing that's completely up to you and not mandatory for the build. I liked running it because I'm just lazy and just like teleporting around the map, but Blink is, yeah, it's completely up to you. If you don't run Blink, you get 2 extra minions. In my opinion, when you're just mapping, you don't need it. When you're doing bossing, take Blink off and get you 2 extra minions. But yeah, it's not mandatory. It's up to you whether you want to run it or not. And then just obviously Grim Feast, because Grim Feast is just absolutely broken. But yeah, I'll just go around and do the map really quick. We'll go show you the boss, just to kind of showcase the build. As I said, this map is completely stacked out. The only other thing that I could have done to it is get T16 in Delhi, but yeah, I think this should be like a pretty decent showcase. But yeah, it's just the absolute comfortability of this build. Like, you don't need to pay attention. Like, I just do other things, like I just be watching YouTube on the side, watching a movie, doing whatever. Like, yeah. And yeah, it's basically just that. So we'll go up to the boss here. So throw your thing down, do that. and then you time freeze. He goes down. Like, I don't even need the time freeze once there, but yeah, he's dead. And that's the boss thing. So basically, as soon as they spawn in, you time freeze them. Like, if, say, it's like a, I can't even think of the words, like, the end game bosses, you time freeze them, put your curses down, put your shit down, time freeze them again, and they're good to go. I'll show you a breach really quickly, just so I can show you, like, the clear. But, yeah. Like, the damage, just because of the way these menus work, so if you didn't know, they chain twice whenever they cast. So, because they're casting, like, 0.7 times a second. So the cast speed is just completely insane. The chaining, you don't need to worry about anything. You're so tanky that none of this matters. With Grim Face, we can get up to 22,000 energy shield. So you're never in any fear of dying, and even if you were, you just teleport backwards, so it didn't matter. Oh, sweet, lag my balls off, fantastic. But yeah, this build is by far the most comfortable thing that I've played when it comes to Magic, especially in PoE 2. One thing that I will say is the difference between Storm Minions and Frost Mages. Like, it's just a clear. So, Frost Mages are gonna have way better damage, because the one downside with having like Storm Mages instead of Frost Mages is it's harder to flick lightning exposure. So with Frost Mages, you literally throw out your Eye of Winter and you'll be able to flick lightning exposure. But with like Storm Mages, you kind of need to like wait for your one minions to die so you can use your Shock Bot, and that's the main difference. So you're losing a little bit of damage when it comes to Pinnacle bosses, but you know, even if you wanted to, you could always just swap out the Frost Mages when you do Pinnacle bosses. Like, that wouldn't be the end of the world, but these guys also take them down, no worries. There's one other build that you can do with this as well. So there's a chest piece that I can't remember the name. It's like a Doriani's chest piece. So what it does is the lower your lightning resistance is, the more lightning pen they have. But because we have so much crit chance, we have so much like crit bonus. Like, you just don't need it. It's just, you're making yourself way less tanky and way more at risk of dying, just so you can have a little bit more damage. Which, in my opinion, you just don't need to do. I'd rather have a build that's just way more comfortable and just flows through the map really easily and you don't have to worry about a whole lot, than worrying about stepping on, like, I don't know, just a lightning thing from a monster and you just get one shot. But yeah, this is the breach. As I said, I'm kind of just rolling through it. You can throw down your curses, put down your offerings, they'll all die. Like, when it comes, like, compared to like Spark or anything, it's kind of not close, but none of the minions in this game really are. I think the only one that will come close is like the skeletal snipers. If you have like 40 of them, then maybe there's like a gemling build that you can do. But yeah, this one's just way more tanky, way more comfortable, like better bossing. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of it. I'm not a YouTuber, and this is kind of the first video that I made, so if I've missed anything, let me know if anything else you want to know about the build, and I'll leave it, like, talk to you guys in the comments. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will be streaming over on Twitch sometimes. I think at the moment I'm playing PoE 1 in the Fox League, so if you want to come over and check me out, that'd be good. But if not, all goods. Well, yes, and Bill, guys. Yeah, talk to you later. Peace.